3 months of shutdown, the Premier League will return on June the 17th as Manchester City take on Arsenal.
Guys, I don't know about you guys, but for some reason that gave me shivers. The Premier League is back, and we got some guests, some heavy-duty guests today. We got 6 people on the panel. Let me start it off with the guy, the star of the show, the man himself who started this for me, Sonny TV, Arsenal, the man himself. Sonny, say what up to the people.
Well, actually started for me, right? It did start for you, but it's yours. Let's see you about Dr. Sam from Somalia. Now it's yours. Now, guys, no one knew that I could do the impression from the guy from Sky Sports, did they? And on Sundays I do the geezer from X Factor. I'm actually happy, overjoyed. It's back. You know what? All this time, I did not want it to come back. You know, you guys know I get a bit emotional, right? But there's nothing on, and there's nothing to talk about anymore. So I feel like we got our life back.
Okay. And then next, I'm gonna go to the right of you. Introduce your channel, buddy, and tell everybody where you're from and your channel, buddy.
Yeah, I'm Daniel Williams. You can find me at Devil in the Details MU on Twitter. I've got a YouTube channel. I'm building content out. There's nothing on there now, but there will be some stuff coming soon. Tell a lie, there is one thing on there. We did the Red Rivals podcast where I host Arsenal fans, Liverpool fans, whoever. Basically, any rival of Man United, I'll host you on there, and we'll have a discussion that's not biased or not too heated.
No, we all like you. We all like you.
Doesn't turn out that way.
Okay, I'm gonna give it to the next person, the man himself, Adam Charles from a football. He did stuff with the Football Terrace, and he has his own channel. Let everybody know where you're from, man, and do your thing.
That's right. Initially from the Fifth Official at TFO Show on Twitter, and you can find us at the Fifth Official on YouTube as well. I also do some stuff with Terry on the Football Terrace. So yeah, that's me.
Yeah. The Fifth Official, honestly, that stuff used to make me cry. The way you had it like Big Brother with guys close-ups and talking about their teams.
Yeah, I know. You get that stuff.
He's playing it down, though. Don't you own the Football Terrace?
Nah, I don't own it. Of course not. Of course I don't own it.
I see you, man. I see you.
Okay, let's go. Now we got a Liverpool fan. I think it's the first time we've had a Liverpool fan on, so you're going to do them justice. I know you will. We got Furious K. Tell the people where you're from, man, and do your thing.
Yeah, I'm Furious K. I'm anonymous, and you'll be hearing more from me in the near future. So that's what I can say for now. I'm a Liverpool fan, 6 points away. Happy after 30 years. First time in my lifetime that I've seen my team, on the cusp of something great. And I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to Premier League being back. And that's it really for now.
Okay. I'll leave it to you. Next, we got Ryan, Mr. Arsenal himself. I'm not talking about Tony Adams. I'm talking about Mr. Arsenal himself. Ryan, tell the people where you're from, man, and do your thing, man.
I'm from the Mr. Arsenal podcast. I've been doing that for nearly 2 years now since I started that on YouTube. And yeah, basically, I'm happy the football's back in just based on the Arsenal because I'm so bored of watching reruns and old stuff that make it's the good stuff. I watch the good stuff, don't get me wrong, but it's just depressing because I'm watching the glory years of our club and look where we are now. It's so depressing.
Ryan, you happy football?
I know, but today we're gonna.
Ryan, you happy football's back? You sound really depressed, bro.
What was that?
You happy football's back? You sound really depressed.
I'm just bored. I've got Boris Johnson fucking up the country still, so I'm getting pissed off with that, and the idiots following him still. So I've just been a pissed off week this week.
But
today's been a good day.
That content you must be watching Arsenal's Arsenal doing really well. You must have been able to fit that in about half an hour, bro.
I was going to say the exact same thing. Like,
you know that, innit?
Glorious. How long were the glorious for Arsenal? 3 seasons in total?
Well, I think
honestly, bro. Let's be honest.
2002, 2004. They were the years for us.
Listen. Even up to 2012, we've seen some good football. So don't. Let's not talk about only 2014. I mean, 24.
We don't win trophies, mate.
Again, I see some nice girls in the club, but I didn't take them home.
Exactly.
Okay, true. Okay, yeah. So let's get into this, guys. Let's get into this. You guys, hello to everyone in the comment section. You guys can keep going through. I'm gonna throw up comments during the video, but I'm gonna start it off with this image right here. When you guys seen this image of the Premier League being back, and it's gonna start on the 17th, were you kind of excited? or were you more or less just saying, "Oh man, I don't know how I feel about this"? Because like, let's not get into the coronavirus thing. But did you guys want it null void, or did you want it to continue? I'm just gonna start off with Ryan, and I'm gonna work my way back to Sonny. Ryan, so what do you think? Did you want it to begin, or did you not want it to begin?
Be honest, I was like Sonny, void. I got to a point where I was like, they had to void the season because of how things were at the time. Not just with the death rate and how ridiculous it was. It was just players have come back. Premier League's come back. They've been doing their training. And it's different. Every time they do a test, it's different players or members of staff coming back having the positive test, and that concerns me. And that's not even with full contact. They've now introduced full contact, and they're going to bring back the Premier League. That's my concern.
Okay, I'm going to bring in the Liverpool fan. I know for a fact he probably wanted it back, but I want to hear from him himself. What did you want, Furious K?
Well, I mean, I don't mind it being back. I mean, I've started to forget about football, to be honest. But yeah, I just want the 6 points and see Jordan Henderson lift the trophy, and that's it, really. Like,
worst nightmare. You know. Worst nightmare.
Okay. It's gonna it's gonna be more like what do you call it? What they did at Celtic, where they just had one guy by himself raising the trophy in an empty stadium.
Yo, I thought that was fake. Was that real?
That was real.
Oh my God.
Can I just say that?
That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen.
Furious K he sounds like he'd be more furious about his dessert that would come after his dinner than the Liverpool winning title. It looks like you're having a lunch there, bro.
Yeah, he's very on, you know. He's very like cool about it. I don't think he's like the other Liverpool fans that are like on their deathbed if it doesn't happen. Anyways.
No, but do you know what it is? I mean, it's not out of arrogance or anything, but I think the hard work has been done already. So we're just prayed that, you know, after everything that we've been through, you know, then coronavirus thing coming in, and then you're seeing France getting cancelled, and do you know what I mean? So you just want to get it over and done with. I think it takes away the gloss of the victory due to the fact that you have 2 months off with the threat of the whole season and you know, being cancelled. But nevertheless, I just wanted to get over and done with. And, you know,
okay, I gotta cut you off. A man made a funny face. I want to know, what was that face about? Were you one of those people who didn't want it to happen?
Bro, why are we allowing Liverpool to win the title? Why are we doing this? I hate this. I know, listen, it's all great, integrity of the league, blah, 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 blah. I don't care. It's been 30 years since these donuts haven't won any of the Premier League. And what? Because of integrity, we're just going to give it to them. We haven't completed the season. They shouldn't win, and that's the be all and end all of the matter, man.
Oh, wow.
I mean, why does it get everybody like? I don't get it. Like, it's like, where's this hatred coming from? Like this inner, I'm okay. If it's not hatred, it's just where's the uncomfort? Where's the insecurities coming from? Like, to see Liverpool, like, we put the work in. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, we've gone a long time without winning an actual league title.
Bro, I'll tell you where it's coming from, bro. Because you lot you paint this picture that you've gone through a really hard time, right? It's raining. You got no shoes. You're walking in your bare feet. You got blisters. But the thing is, bro, you're winning Champions Leagues on the way. So you going through a really hard time.
Pardon?
Liverpool fans are not going through a really hard time because you've been winning Champions Leagues on the way as well.
Outside of the Championship, we've done better than Arsenal. So let's stop there. Like,
well, I mean, I'm not dissing. I'm complimenting you, bro. I've said you've been winning Champions Leagues. What's your problem?
Yeah, but we haven't won a league title. Like, it's fair enough to be the best team in Europe, and we all know that the European competition is a cup competition. When you're not the champion of your own country, like, it means there must be some validity over that. Like, Liverpool have been in 4 European finals without winning a league title. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like, there has to be some legitimacy behind that. Like, do you know what I mean? So, like, the moment that we get it, it's like, oh, like, what's going on here? Like, do you know?
Yeah, but at the end of the day, it's not been that hard for you, right? You've got cultural capital of Europe. You know, you've had the sugar babes. You've had it's all good.
And don't forget, in the 80s is why people don't like Liverpool, because in the 80s was when everything was happening, where people started this. When you win everything like Man United did, and when you guys did for almost a decade, you start to get that group of fans that will forever know these guys were on top and we always wanted them to fall. It's like what happened to the Patriots. It's like what happens in every major sport, like what happens to the Lakers and even the Bulls. Everyone, when you get a generation of people who just see one team win, they start to hate on them.
That's fair enough. I mean, Chicago Bulls, fair enough, innit? Like, I mean, we've all seen the Last Dance document. Well, most people have. Chicago Bulls, those are the only titles they've won in their whole history, in the whole franchise. Do you know what I mean? And they ain't won nothing since.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Liverpool. We're gonna talk about the super chat.
Yeah, I just want to read out super chat.
Go ahead.
Zane, I just want to read out a super chat from Zane. Zane is, you know what? Zane sponsors YouTube football YouTube channels. Because whenever I'm on, it's donated to somebody. So Zane, bruv, thank you very much. Obviously,
can I just say this as well? I put this in the comment on the Football Terrace the other day. Actually, Zane, can you send me the signal to your trading account? Whether you're doing your online trading, just send me a link to your group. Back up the success you got.
Can we go one step further? Zane, I know because you keep donating to everybody, Zane, right? Just to save you the trouble, bruv, just give me a PIN number, bruv. I'll just do it myself.
Okay, I want to go next. Daniel, Man United fan. Man United were at a time one of the best teams in the league every year in, year out, and people hated on them. Do you feel like Liverpool is getting that same hatred as Man United were getting?
I think they're just getting bantered because COVID-19 was going to stop them from getting the league title. That's all it is banter. I've always felt Liverpool are probably the most, of all of the big clubs, they're the least hated of the big football clubs, in my opinion. That's just how I feel about it. Manchester United are the most hated. Then it's Arsenal. Then after that, you know what I mean? Tottenham, who cares about Tottenham? No one does really, do they?
No one.
No one gets passionate about Tottenham. Man United and Arsenal are the biggest clubs in the country, in my opinion. And then it's, you know, obviously if you want to go trophies historically, it's Liverpool. I'm from London, so it's a Man United Arsenal thing.
He's saying people who hate on the clubs. Because let's be honest, Liverpool doesn't get as bantered as much as Arsenal or Man United. Even when we were doing good, we still had more hatred. We haven't. This generation hasn't grown up through Liverpool's 80s, where
do you know what it is as well?
Do
you know what it is? I measure things by what I see, and when it comes to hate, Man United and Arsenal get it. Absolutely get it.
We hate ourselves, so that makes it good.
Wait.
We hate ourselves.
In the media, make no mistake about it as well. In the media, Liverpool are the media's favorite football club. I don't care what nobody says.
110%. And Furious K, you cannot dispute that.
Do you know what it is though? I think the Hillsborough, the Hillsborough incident brought a lot of empathy. Throughout the country towards Liverpool fans. So we can't take that away.
True.
I wouldn't argue about United, to be fair. I mean,
we're the most hated.
You had the dictator. You had Joseph Stalin for 26 years. Joseph Stalin in charge of that empire, and you know, and as soon as he left, I mean, he took everything with him. Like, you would think that United would have continued at least one or two.
No. I knew
myself. No. I'm saying I was saying it from 2008. What happens when Fergie goes?
It's not even that, bro. If you play Monopoly with someone, right, and they're always banker, 9 times out of 10 they're winning. So that's what United was. When they didn't have no competition, when United didn't have no competition because they were the bankers, they kept winning everything.
You know what? Wait. Can I just you know what? Thank you for bringing this up. I always wanted to say this to an Arsenal fan, yeah? If you take your best team that you had, say, late 90s, mid 2000s, right?
Yeah.
And Man United, and United's team, Henry and Bergkamp, Man United had 4 good strikers. Your 2 strikers were ridiculous in Henry and Bergkamp.
The team wasn't
wait. Let me finish. A lot of people have Pires over Giggs as an all-time Premier League great.
As it should be.
I'm a Man United fan. I'd say Vieira was better than Keane. Our back four in the 90s. Nobody talks about David May, Ronnie Johnson, and these guys. So actually, even though Wenger built that team with less money, once you have a team that's great, do something with that team. And
that wasn't the point I was making, though. That's not the point I was making. Just quickly, let me just address it, because that wasn't the point I was making. The point I was making is United over their term of success were basically used to outspend everybody. For instance, picking up Ferdinand for 30 million. The ruin is United used to always go and pick whoever they wanted. No other team was doing that. till Chelsea came along. But that's how it is. But it's not the argument we're having tonight. But it's another show we should do.
Wait. Newcastle was spending money back then as well.
One second. We're gonna get on this at the end. When we, right now I still have an agenda. 1 second. First, Zayn said Klopp will leave for Real Madrid or Barcelona soon. Pep will get fed up and leave, and Arteta will become the main man in the Premiership. Okay, Zayn, I love you. I think you're an Arsenal fan. You might be a little bit blinded by the love. Okay, I wanted to show you guys something. But when this coronavirus was still going on, I put out a poll, and I want to show you guys a poll. If I asked you what month do you think the Premier League would have came back, and I said to you, the Premier League, you have a couple options. Will it come back this month of May? Will it come back in June, July, or post-August? What time do you think the people voted?
June.
What do you guys think?
June.
June?
Yeah.
Everyone's saying June?
August. Back then, it's August.
This is what we had. This was 2 weeks ago, actually. And rumor Premier League has been given the green light to go ahead so football can come back. 3% said May. 45% said June. So it looks like the majority was right. July got 16% and 35% said thing. But if you look at the comments were literally just saying this thing is getting voided. They're all just saying this is getting voided. We're not having it. But if you guys go back, think 2 weeks ago. What did you really think? Like, I know right now it's back, but if you could put yourself 2 weeks ago, did you think this was actually going to come back?
Nope.
No.
I thought it would.
I did. I knew it would.
Yeah.
That's why there was too much at stake, and
too much money at stake.
And the casualty wasn't as bad as anticipated.
Okay, Adam, you said no. Full stop.
Yeah, man.
Why?
Because I was reading stuff on The Athletic, and there were lots of like anonymous players who were coming out saying, "I'm secretly scared to go back," and I thought that was them just trying to exert pressure to say, "Yeah, I don't want to come back, and I'm done." But it turns out money wins, as it usually does. Personally, I don't really think that people should be going back to work as quickly as they are right now, as well. Yeah. But again, money wins and money talks. So
I don't think she should come back either. And I totally concur with everything Adam has just said. Right? You know, the thing is, we're so confused as people at the moment that you don't know whether you should be going to work. You don't know whether all of a sudden it's 6 people you could be mixing with now, not one. No one knows whether they're coming or going. We're still scared to go and visit. I'm scared to go and visit my 78-year-old mum because it might be over for the coronavirus. Might be over for some. It's not over for the vulnerable. So, and it's not. I don't know. I think it's in bad taste personally.
Ryan, what did you think?
I honestly didn't think I honestly didn't want it to come back, but money was all, as we've all said, money was the ruler. It's this time last week, Troy Deeney's saying, "I'm not coming back. I put my son first." Now, in the last 24 hours, he's saying, "I'll come back." And he's like, last week he was saying, "Oh, I could cut my wages." But then you're back. Literally, you've changed your whole motto and method has changed because a few idiots are giving you grief online.
Yeah.
But again, money. Just like in government, Premier League was all by the money. They couldn't afford to lose. Payback.
Shane, what do you call it? Vince McMahon's son, what was his name? He would always come out. Shane McMahon, he'll come out, he's like, "Here comes the money, money." That's what he sounds like right now. Okay. Guys, TV people are a big reason why it came back. And I just want to show you guys what they're going to be doing with the TV. If you haven't seen, this is what the schedule is going to look like for football. The schedule,
every 2 hours.
If you can't see, I'll read it to you. Saturday, 12 o'clock tip-off, 8 o'clock tip-off, 4 o'clock tip-off, 6 o'clock tip-off, kickoff, 8 o'clock kickoff. And then you got Sunday, same thing. You got four time slots afternoon, and then you got the lunchtime kickoff. So that is 8 game. That's 10 game slots during the weekend. In addition to Tuesday, where you're playing at 6 and 8. Wednesday, when you're playing at 6 and 8, and this will be continuously until the season is completed.
I'm going to end up getting divorced. This is too much football.
I'm not watching
too much football.
Way too much football. I'm going to get in serious trouble at home.
Stop. The World Cup was the World Cup too much football because it was every day, bro.
Of course it was. I'm not watching all that personally. I'm not going to sit down and watch 10 hours of football. You're mad. I've got things to do in my life.
But
The
Sonny,
World Cup's been diluted badly. So the last World Cup, we weren't great watching all them games. To be honest, it really wasn't.
okay.
Yeah, I mean, the World Cup was only before it was like 60 to 24 teams. Now they've made up to 32. Like they've oversaturated the amount of teams that are in the World Cup. So
you know what though, guys? I never want to hear an Arsenal fan ever say again that these players play too many games. For instance, if Arsenal got a European game and they've got a Europa League now, even if we get that next year, right? But the thing is, Arsenal supporters, because they try and hide behind everything, I don't ever want to hear these players are tired. So that's why they pay these players for that competition, that players for that competition. Because basically, these people are fit enough to play football twice a week.
True.
What
do you guys think about that schedule? Do you like the schedule? Do you think the schedule actually caters to the audience? Because unlike some people, I'm gonna be at work at some of those days. I can't watch all the games every time.
Do you know what's crazy? That just shows you just how, like, I've got BT TV, right? So I can't. There's no point me unsubscribing to BT Sport, for example. The Bundesliga's on there. Schedule's the same. The schedule's the same. Like, it just shows you how money hungry the Premier League is. They want to recoup advertising money. That's why they're doing this. That's the only reason I can think of why. Because why not just show the games as they were supposed to be showed before? Why do you have more games on TV?
And I think this is what Zayn is saying. A matter of balancing economy and health doesn't really happen. Really, it's most about economy. Even today, I heard somebody say the economy is not really hurting. Yes, people are not losing jobs, but the real economy, the stocks, is doing good. I'm like, are you crazy?
Whoever said that, I got a clue what they're talking about, because actually there was more damage done in the first 2 weeks of the coronavirus than there was in the whole of the 80s. What's the name? Recession, yeah. So
only positive. Sorry, go on, Adam.
Nice one,
Adam,
man.
what do you call? I wanted to ask you, what did you think about this whole schedule?
I think it depends. Like, if you're just watching for purely entertainment, I think it's a decent schedule because it's just like an overindulgence of football. But if you're actually trying to take in games, analyze them, as I'm sure all of us would be trying to do, I don't see how you're going to be able to do that properly with so much football. So it's probably going to be a case of you just picking your 1 or 2 games, really dissecting those, and then going into depth with those.
I didn't watch the Bundesliga, Adam. It don't interest me. It didn't interest me before. It ain't going to interest me after. Why would I watch the Bundesliga?
Let's get into this. Did any of you guys watch the Bundesliga? Just take a note, like a check.
No.
Daniel.
You know what?
I watched the first half hour, and that was it. After that,
did you watch the Dortmund Bayern game?
I watched the Dortmund Schalke, and that was it. I was gone. I was gone with the win, mate.
Yeah. Since
you know
the title race is over,
the Bundesliga is a very weird league. Like, about 30% of the teams in that league are about championship level. Then the rest are like somewhat near to the Premier League. Very weird, very strange league.
Yeah.
But like I said, it's part of my package that I have for my TV, so I just watch it anyway. It's just there to watch, so I'll watch it. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, so let's talk about TV.
You want to get money's worth, don't it? You want to get money's worth.
Exactly.
Okay, let's talk about the real breaking news. The real breaking news is the BBC's breaking news is they got their football back. So the BBC is going to have football now for free. So we're going to have out of the games that are going to be posted on Sky and BT Sport, we're going to have about 4 games free on the BBC every week. We're going to have 4 games that are free out of the games that are left. Every single week, we're going to have at least 4. I don't think it's every week. I think it's every game schedule. So say you got the midweek games, there's going to be 4 on BBC, and you got the games during the weekend, you're going to have 4 of them on BBC, because apparently BT Sport and Sky can't do it on their own.
Yeah, you know what? Do you know what I'd say? As somebody from a working class background who spent many weekends growing up watching Final Score because they didn't have Sky Sports, like, for a lot of people, it's going to be the only way to watch football. Yep. So that's the benefit of it to me. Like, I just look at it that way. Obviously, I can afford to pay for my own stuff now, but yeah, there's certain kids, they have to stream online. That stream's going down. They're looking for a next stream. That stream goes down. They're looking for another stream. So it's an opportunity for people just to watch football in the best quality for free. So that's
streaming. When you actually stream those matches, you're like 30 seconds, a minute behind. So it'll be.
Do you know what I'm going to find funny? Do you know what I'm going to find funny? Adam might relate to this, right? Adam, don't you think, what I'm going to find funny, right, is see who the really hungry YouTubers are, right? Who want to do the watch-alongs for every game, yeah? So they're gonna start off like this, bruv, doing the watch-along, and by the end of it, they're gonna be like this.
No, I'm not gonna lie to you. I would never do a watch along for the Bundesliga based on the fact that I can't name every single player on the games. If I can't name every single player on both teams, I personally think you shouldn't be doing.
Oh, you can't even do that for Arsenal, never mind fucking Bundesliga. Super chat by Zane. Zane, people say Bundesliga is boring, but Munich keeps smashing Arsenal. It makes it even more boring then, Zane. That makes it even more boring.
Who hasn't smashed Arsenal? That's the thing.
Exactly.
Guys, do you think they're doing us a favor though? Because they're making it seem like, oh, there's going to be 4 games per schedule per week for free. Are they doing us a favor? Because they're making it seem like they're trying to do us a favor, which I don't believe they are.
No, all it is the government have gone ahead and helped out the Premier League do this and put this all ahead, so it diverts. They say morale, but no, it's diverting away from Boris and all the fuck ups he's doing. So if we're watching something else like our football world clubs on a weekend and midweek, we're not really as far as he's concerned, we're not really concentrating on what he's fucking up on.
So it's state propaganda.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you guys just think it's a bunch of BS.
But what people are forgetting though, don't forget, right? It's the ones who go to matches, right? And there's certain fans who handle defeat more than others. Right? It takes me from the journey back through the Emirates, right, to get to home to cool off a bit, right? Can you imagine? Can you imagine if Arsenal lost to Tottenham or something at home? Brother, I'll have no dishes left or nothing.
Oh man!
Can I ask a question to the panel? If your team, look, I ain't been a cunt in it, but if
you can't really use that word
if your team was 6 points away from winning the league title, like, would you have a different outtake on it, or would you forfeit that on a basis, for the safety of the players and the public?
Yeah, I'm a stand-up guy. Right. I'm a stand-up guy, but right, even if it was a point away, I'd cancel the league. Of course not. If I was a Liverpool fan, mate, I'd be dying for the league to finish as well. And do you know what?
To avoid the season, cancel the season, and
if
Arsenal was 6 points from the title.
Bro, what I'm going to do, on Twitter and all my social media platforms, right? When Liverpool 3 points away, I'm just going to try and get a petition together so we can all pretend there was a second spike, just so they cancel the league.
I don't know. I don't know really.
You lot deserve it, man. You lot deserve it. You deserve it. You took on City. Do
you know what it is, Kay?
One second.
Sorry,
Kane said another thing. People say the Bundesliga is boring, but
we've done that one.
what do you call it? Bayern Munich smashing it. Oh, I didn't see that. Okay, I'm behind.
Well, there's another one there.
Okay, go ahead, guys.
I lost my train of thought. Go ahead.
Yeah, here it is.
That's what I was going to say. Hold on, go on.
Boris Johnson made a mistake. But Corbyn didn't have any. What? He didn't do any better as chancellor.
He wouldn't have done any better, and the chancellor has done a good job stabilising the economy. Not really, but anyway.
Mate,
it's a whole different show.
Let's try to stay away from politics.
Let's stay away from politics. At the end of the day,
that's another
comment. Okay. What I was going to say to you, Kay. Sorry, I was going to say to Kay, basically, if you were to poll season ticket holders, not social media and everybody else, season ticket holders of all the clubs in the top 8, nobody would want it voided. Everybody still wants to play football.
Okay,
that's the reality.
Yeah. Okay,
that's the
truth. Because
listen,
I just think that everyone's morality and altruistic, nature's coming in terms of like, no, I think that, but if your team's 2 points away from the title, like it's a whole different, it's a whole different.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
What's crazy? Yeah. This is the thing, though. Like from my perspective as a United fan, we had some momentum. All that momentum's gone now. It's all gone. Yeah. Everybody's starting from a clean slate. Are Tottenham going to have their front three back fully fit now?
Yeah, as it stands, yeah.
Yeah, that's not a good thing. That's Son, like he's their best player, by the way, not Kane. Him being fit and coming back for them, I'm not happy about that. Do you know what I mean? So,
guys, I think you're missing the most
Yeah,
important point.
One second. I just want to respond to a comment. This guy said I can't read, buddy. I haven't learned. No. On a serious thing, let me get personal for a second. I have a learning disability, so I struggle to read, but I still have my bachelor's degree, and I'm a chartered accountant. So get to know.
Yeah, no. But firstly, don't abuse our people watching because they're our audience. Yeah, easy, hello, we love you, bro. And what you forgot to tell him is the lost voice guy has got. He lives in your spare room, right? Anyway. So listen, well, I think you're not missing the most important point of this football coming back, right? Football's supposed to be a spectacle for the fans. It's supposed to be a working class game, right? And basically, the spectacle has been taken away from the fans because no one could go.
Yeah, that was honestly, Sonny. That was my next point. Especially to Furious K, with no fans being there. I know the visual point of the game is going to be different, but are you gonna feel like it's gonna affect the game based on like refereeing decisions, other things like that? What do you guys think? Because we've seen the Bundesliga, that handball that thing did. If fans were there, I honestly think the players would have reacted differently and tried to get that handball call.
Not really. I mean, I think it was Leipzig. I think it was Leipzig against the first week back. One of the teams scored in the 93rd minute. And that got disallowed. Like, you know, it wasn't influenced by the fans. I mean, there's the VAR still working for last time I heard. Do you know what I mean? So I don't think I don't think. I mean, fans do have the influence, but nowadays we've got the technology now to, you know, we've got the fourth referee. You know,
that handball was great. It's so sneaky. They missed it. VAR missed it. It was just so sneaky.
Guys, you know what though? Another thing as well. You remember a few years ago when Tony Adams was mic'd up when Arsenal playing Millwall. I think it's playing Millwall. It was. Basically, with no fans in the ground, you're going to hear everything the footballers say, right? If they're abusive, right? And you're going to hear it so sharp. It's going to be like when Terry's camera went down on the football terrace when I talked to the Anfield agenda, right? You're going to hear everything.
They're gonna need a bleep machine. 1 second, I want to get Adam in this. Adam, what do you think about that? Do you think the game's gonna change in any way?
Yeah. I think it did change. Number one, I think we'll see more injuries because, well, I think we'll see injuries when I say because
that's 2 months off, innit? So
yeah, exactly. So there'll be that. But also there was a moment in the Dortmund Bayern game where Kimmich like screamed at, I think it was either Coleman, Pavard, or Goretzka. I can't remember who it was exactly, but he was like, play quicker. And just seeing that, to me, told me that guy is going to be Bayern captain one day because his passion in that game just showed me everything that I needed to see. And I could sense that in German. So I can only imagine how much deeper it's going to be if I can understand what people are saying. This guy, Zayn Mayassi, how much money does he have, bro?
I said it. Send me the signal to your trading account. I'm not joking.
Ryan, take it away. You were good at reading the last one.
Oh, bloody right. They're opening cinemas in July, but at a lower capacity. Tubes are packed. Why can't they let the fans in the stadium? The reason I can't let the fans in the stadium is because basically you put more people in the stadium, you're risking the virus because you're outdoors, spreading amongst each other. I mean, what has annoyed me though is this break only happened when Arteta and Arsenal came out and confirmed that he had the virus. And then obviously a few hours later, was it Hudson and Doyle for Chelsea? And up till then, Premier League were doing a Boris Johnson in the sense of, oh, it's fine, we won't shake hands, move on sort of thing. They weren't taking it serious.
The whole country was set, didn't they, really?
Oh, no, but I'm saying, but Premier League weren't doing no better. That's what I'm trying to say. It took for high-profile people within the Premier League to get a virus for them to go, actually, we need to take this seriously and do X, Y, and Z.
Yeah. Sonny jumped out. What do you guys think? I'm gonna give it to Furious K. Furious K, do you think honestly that they could ever get fans back in within like this calendar year?
No. Nah, don't think so.
I'm gonna add, right?
We're probably looking at least November. If we're lucky, probably next year.
Igel, I'm going to cut out because there's a lot of people on the stream and everyone's talking over each other. So it'd be better if there's less people on you. So I'm going to go out and I'm going to leave you guys. Guys, I really want to say thank you to everyone for coming on the channel, and hopefully see you all again. So take care, guys.
All right, later, Sonny.
All right,
Thanks for coming on. Okay, continue, Furious K. You were saying?
No, I just said that it won't be at least till October, but even next year, I'll get it next year. Really, I mean, I'm not an expert in that field in terms of health and safety, so we just have to wait and see.
Hey, I'll tell you one thing: AFTV guys are gonna have to call in for rents. What do you call it? But hey, that's not my business. Terry, I mean, what do you call it? Adam, what do you think, man? Do you think it's gonna affect the actual do you think they could actually find a way to maybe even get like a small set of fans into the arenas before the start of like the next year, the next calendar year?
In all honesty, I think you see when Boris made that whole announcement on a Sunday, I think it was a couple of weeks ago, and everyone thought it was going to be the announcement of lockdown. He set out like steps of when things were going to start getting lifted, and I think it's moved a lot faster than I thought it had. So I do agree with Furious K initially to think that it'll probably be around November sometime, but if it keeps moving at the pace that it's moving at now, it could be sooner and just in time for the start of the new season. So I really don't know, but it's possible. But I personally wouldn't say that it's going to be before October, November time. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, to add to that also, that we have to remember that, we're asking an average of 40,000 fill in the stadium. So that's another thing. I mean, shopping centers, that's fine. That's an average of like 3,000 to 4,000 people, and at peak time. But you're asking 40,000. I mean, and United's got 75,000 coming through the gates. Arsenal has 60,000. I mean, all the top Premier League clubs have an average of 55,000 in and around those numbers. So
I spoke to a guy in marketing, and he told me that there's a possibility that there's a high possibility, but no one would say this on the record, that there could be no fans in the stadium for at least until 2022.
I've seen that. Oh, 2022.
Yeah,
no,
because they're saying even if there are fans, they're gonna have to find a way to reduce the fans that come into stadiums, and there might be an allocation for away fans, but there might not even be away fans, because they're gonna have to find a way to spread the fans out so much that it's gonna be, if you're an away fan and you have allocated tickets for away, and you're like a season ticket holder, you're gonna maybe get every second game at best.
I'll tell you what's going to happen. This is what's going to happen. The Premier League will just wait for the government to say you can, and then they'll do it. So as soon as, like Boris, if Boris gets something wrong, well, it was the scientists, weren't me. It was them. They gave me the advice. That's what the Premier League can do. So, because trust me, Premier League teams can't have another season where they don't have fans in the stadium. It's not going to happen. You're Arsenal for you. Like, I think, not Arsenal, isn't your match day revenue 25% of your annual income?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, you guys can't have another 2 years of no fans in the stadium. That's not.
Nope.
Yeah.
Football won't
survive if that happens. Won't survive.
Guys, the real issue is not the income from the support from that. The real issue is 80% of football's income goes to the players. In what sport does 80% of your income go to the players? Even in basketball, they get paid ridiculous money, but basketball players only get 45% of the salary cap. NFL just did a recent agreement.
NFL is a disgusting model. NFL is exploitation. Those players don't even have guaranteed money. Don't use NFL as a model. It's not guaranteed, Adam. I see your face, Adam. It's not guaranteed. The contract's not guaranteed. They can sign a 4-year deal. They can sign a 4-year deal that's worth a certain amount, but only get like 60% of the money based on ridiculous amount of rules. It's complicated, but it's not guaranteed contract.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Is there a thing where they only get paid during the season, not off season? They don't get paid.
They get paid during the season, and the NFL teams have various mechanisms to get people out of their contracts and move them on without paying them.
But off season, they don't get paid.
What I would say to Kid's point is, I love the Premier League model of, because where the money's either going to go to the players or it's going to go to the billionaires. It can't go anywhere else. Like all this, it has to go grassroots. Only so much money can go grassroots. Do you know what I mean? Like I don't know if you like if you look at the park where you live, ain't many kids playing football in the park these days. Like,
not anymore. No.
you know what I mean?
I went to a basketball court. I went to a basketball court recently in Basingstoke, where I'm staying right now, and I'm telling you, I've never seen such a shit basketball court in my life. People in the UK don't play basketball, so I don't know. So luckily, you guys got one good player.
But yeah, no. To be honest, I don't have a problem with the Premier League model of the money going to the players and the agents. I really don't.
The small teams. The small teams, the Leyton Orients, the teams like Borough, the teams like who else? Even in the Championship, like Reading and these guys.
What their wages? Are you talking about the players' wages or the clubs?
Just in general. If they don't get match receipts, if they don't get the commercial deal up to what it was supposed to be, they're gonna struggle.
They're in trouble. They could go on the water.
It's not just that as well. It's the wider economy around football. Think about just you as a football fan going to the game. What do? You wake up in the morning, you go put petrol in your car, then you drive to the game. If you don't live in the city, you're probably going to stay at a hotel, go to a pub. If you're a Man United fan, you're going to go to the Trafford Centre, spend money there. It's the whole economy around football. The country's losing that.
Yeah.
And no other country participates in football at all levels. Like when you go all the way down to like non-league, no other country does this the way we do it in England. It's not normal. It's not normal what we do here when it comes to football.
France after the second division, they're done, mate. They're done for.
Yeah. Adam, Adam and Ryan, what do you guys think? Ryan, what happened? He left. Adam, what do you think, man? Like honestly, do you think the Premier League model? I know there's some pros with paying the players adequate money because they deserve it. They play all these games. But the thing is, the media and the people, the regular fans, they can't associate with that kind of income. Some people actually say it's not right that footballers get so much money.
It's mad. I got into a heated debate at work once with like these social justice warriors. And they were casting Ronaldo saying it's outrageous that he can earn that much money. And I was just like, but if you think about it, there's bankers who earn a lot of money as well. And they're at the peak of their powers. It's weird because people don't seem to look at footballers in the same way that they look at other industries in life. Because how much is an MK Dons player going to get? Like maybe 60, 70 grand a year, which is the same as some people in life. But then I understand the average wage in London is like 35 grand. Outside of London, it's like 20 something grand. So there is a huge disparity. But realistically, if we want to change it, then it means that we probably have to kind of stop watching football in the same way as well. And I don't think we're prepared to do that. So
can I just add to that? Can I just add to what Adam said very quickly? What other industry in England? Let's just stick to England. Will enable working class people to become millionaires the way football does.
That's it.
What?
There's no other industry. So the Premier League, football in particular, I can't remember who quoted this. Basically, the background of most footballers in this country, even the foreign ones, they're from working class backgrounds. Even traditionally, if you go further back, it's working class people having an opportunity just to kick a ball and become wealthy from kicking a ball. And now in 2020, it's working class and 45% foreigners getting rich from just kicking the ball. That's where the envy comes from. And what frustrates me even more is the guys from the 80s and 70s, they're bitter because they see what players can get today compared to what they were getting like 20, 30 years ago. So they add to it in the media and they go along with them.
I want to bring Ryan in. Ryan, what do you think? Why is it that people have this envy or like almost like jealousy where they can't support a player and they criticize him harshly because he's getting paid the highest on the team? Like, for example, Ozil or Pogba, almost his wages has to do with how he's producing on the pitch.
It's like the guys have said, it's literally people from the older generations, ex-players wise as well. Because we see Graham Souness week out digging out Pogba. It's just bitterness, and because an ex-player does it, then the fans see that and they see if we can say that, and we're fans and we're paying for it, we can say that as well. And what hasn't helped recently, again, was when it's all stopped. We went to this lockdown, and on live national TV, it was basically demanded that Premier League clubs
Dominic Raab.
take cuts and all that left, right, and centre. But the same people who are doing that are multimillionaires themselves, but they wouldn't take a cut.
True. I'm going to get back to that in a second, but I just wanted to move a little bit away from that and move into this. Let me show you this picture. From this picture, how many of these players are British? And like, can somebody actually say, this is the kind of guy I used to see when I was in school, and he grew up to play for the league? Because that is another thing. Because a lot of people can't connect with these players in a way. They can't say, oh, this is my neighbor. I grew up with him, and now he's playing in the Premier League. Because a lot of these guys in the Premier League that are superstars, that are famous, are not British born. Yes, there is a couple in this picture. Like you'd see Harry Kane, Chris Wood's Australian. You got what do you call it? Who else is there? You got a Mexican, American, a guy from Gabon who grew up in France and Spain. You got the Egyptian. You got the Belgian. Of course, you got the Flicks and the Rashfords. But how many of these guys can you actually relate with that play in football? That's what I think might be the issue.
Was that as well, and it's like, and also growing up, you look at the ex-players from the 80s and 90s. They're so hands-on and so willing to do things for the fans. Like we've got Kevin Campbell, Winter Burns, for Arsenal fans, that Ian Wright and all that. There's that togetherness because they make the effort with the fans.
True.
This generation don't really do that, and
true.
They distance themselves, and that also creates a divide when it comes to then how much they're getting paid.
Do you know? But they have to distance themselves because of the way they're targeted. Football players are a target. They are a target. And especially when it comes to the red tops. Remember that newspaper, The News of the World, that literally existed to catch football players out, other celebrities as well. But they love to catch out a football player. They love to catch up a football player. In fact, I worked on you know what? Let me just tell this little quick story. I worked on this very, very popular TV show. It was the celebrity version. There was a particular football player's house I was in. I introduced myself, and he was just very, very hands-off. The entire TV crew had to sign non-disclosures, and they were very hands-off. And I was a bit like, yo, why is he being like that? Then I thought, I'm a football fan. I get it. They don't know us. We've just come into their house to film this show. They're being cautious. They're just being cautious because they get exploited. Do you know what I mean?
Zayn is funding the channel, guys.
Wow, £20.
Zayn is literally funding the channel. This guy is on a next level. Like, I appreciate
£20. £20.
Cool guy. No, because how many times he already donated today in one stream? Because Ozil earns 15 million a year, he's lazy. He should be playing every match, and if he's going to what? As if he's going to war. Look at United and Arsenal players smiling before each smiling before they play.
Can I address this? Can I just address this? Can I just address this very quickly? Yeah. How many players in England are earning more than 300 grand a week?
Not too many. Not too
many. So why are you using a handful to like just paint a negative brush of all football players in the entire country? It's a handful. This is what you see this. I'm sorry to bring politics, but you see this in politics where like literally a small percentage of people do something or abuse something, and people with a certain ideology will say, we need to scrap that because these people are doing this. Yeah, but it's only like 1% of them. No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. They're all abusing it. They're all going on holidays, on benefits, this, that, and the other. Let's get rid of it. It's the same thing in football. They look for a few people to target, your Pogbas, your Ozils, and they say you're all overpaid. Not really. That's just it's only a handful of people that really that get paid the big bucks. And it's funny, actually, Terry brought this up on the football terms because he has a finance background. He had finance people come in. I didn't know football players were on, what do you call it? Is it
monthly?
PAYE. Do you know what they're getting taxed? Do you know what they're getting? Do you know what that? You know, a football player should post his P60 just so you can see how disgusting that tax rate must be at the end of the year when you see all the zeros, that 45% that comes off their money.
Crazy.
And again, only a handful of players get image rights that are like offshore. Like most football players aren't doing that. It's just
Daniel, 1 second. I want to bring in Adam. Adam, you got some people in the comments who are appreciating you. They just want to say what up, you know?
Bro, yeah, I saw that, man. Big up you, your boy Wild.
Real ones in the comments. Anyways, Furious K and Adam, I want to give you guys. I want to ask you guys one more thing. right? Do you think people can relate to the players, and do you think that's the issue?
Well, you or me, Adam? You go first, Adam.
Well, you take it, man.
Well, I think there's a resentment. I mean, I look at it like this, right? You see, for football, there's a filtering process that starts out with like 1 million, let's say 1 million kids at the age of 9 who want to become footballers, right?
Yeah.
And out of that million, at the top level, at best, probably about 7 of them in the same year will make it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And there's a reward. There's a rewarding aspect of it. Now we're looking at the old school players who are complaining over with the new school. We've got to look at it like this: like football wasn't the same 20 years ago, 25 years ago. It didn't have the global universal appeal. So now there's more supply. I mean, there's more demand for the football now. Football's ubiquitous. So there's such a demand that the Premier League have sold their rights all around the world. No one cared about football the way they cared about football now. No one cared about football in the 80s or in the 70s like they cared about football now. So of course there's going to be more money. Of course now the accessibility to see these players every single week, that's going to be rewarded with, there's going to be a huge financial rewards for clubs and football, and I mean for the football players. Do you know what I mean? And in the same period, like, our wages are still the same. We still have to wake up and go to work. Do you know what I mean? So there's such a disparity. That's where a lot of the disparity comes from. The fact that, I'm here working on that £400 a week. Not me personally. I've got to work 40 hours a week. And these guys work one to 3 hours a day, and they earn all that money. And they're a bit desensitized from the society. They've created this bubble. Whereas, like, we as normal people have to live a certain way, and they live, not me per se. I don't see it that way. Do you know what I mean? But
that's why.
Can I just point out? You said bubble. Do you remember what happened to Wayne Rooney when the media said he might go to City?
They got killed.
Yeah.
That was great.
Manchester United fans turned up at his house. This is why they live in a bubble.
Zane was making a point that Ozil is not all about footballers. What?
I was making a point about Ozil, not all footballers. What I'd say to Zane is, like, I get that, but people, like, most footballers aren't making the percentage of footballers actually making crazy amount of money is small. True. That's just the reality. That's what I was saying. That's what I was saying.
Even an average wage, not on the lower end in the Premier League, that's still what can we say, about 20 grand a week?
Yeah.
How many people earn that in Great Britain?
Yeah, but it's the industry.
That's not to defend. I mean, there's still a disparity between someone earning 320 grand.
Do you know what it is? It's because it's unfair that somebody who works in an Amazon warehouse or Primark's only getting paid £9 an hour, and that company's never going to share the profits with them. That's just, it's not footballers' fault. That's how other industries work.
That's what I'm trying to explain. It's not footballers' fault, and no amount of
this guy's rude.
Amazon warehouse workers. Like, we don't want to turn up on Sky Sports and see what's going on at Amazon or Prime.
Kev.
Okay.
Very quickly. One last point.
Daniel, I promise you the next topic is going to take up way more time than what you have.
Can I just say this very quickly, please, kid? Please.
Yeah.
Somebody should start exposing how much pundits make every year and just constantly put it out there for people to see every single day.
Exactly.
How much people on Sky Sports, how much does Graham Souness make on Sky Sports? That's what.
That is a fact, because if they make anything close to what they make, like for the NFL or basketball, because you do realize guys like Tony Romo are getting more than NFL players. Guys like Charles Barkley are making ridiculous money in the NBA. So I want to know what Graham Souness is making. I want to know what Jamie Carragher is making. Because if this guy is going out here talking about David Luiz, he's not good enough for Arsenal, no wonder they're saying they want to get rid of him, or making fun of these guys every single week. We should know what they're doing, because if they're doing a bad job, who's calling them out?
It pops up every now and again. Fans will react to it the same way, but those stories aren't put out every single day like it is about footballers. But they wouldn't like it.
My next thing, I wanted to give you guys each, like, I'll open the floor for you, give you like a minute to tell me what you think is going to happen for the end of the season, just like predictions. if you have any predictions for like the table. I'll bring the table up and I'll show you guys the table. But you tell me what you think is going to happen, like relegation. If you have any ideas on that, or who's gonna get the final 4 spots. 1 second, I'm just gonna get it open for you guys. What do you call it? First of all, I know Furious K. Furious K, do you think you're gonna go the rest of the season unbeaten? I know you lost 1 game already, but you think you're gonna lose any more games?
I can see us probably losing 1 or 2, to be fair.
Yeah. What about
if we pick up momentum within the first 2 games, we should be all right. But I think the players just want to get over the line, to be fair.
Okay, Ryan and Adam, I'm going to ask you guys each. We still have Liverpool left. We still have Wolves left. We were facing Man City and Tottenham. We have a heavy schedule left. What do you guys think for Arsenal?
Blood. Yeah, nah. We're not getting top 4. I know that much.
Can I just read it out in sequence? Can I just read this out? Because I'm looking at it now very quickly.
Yeah,
you have Wolves, Leicester, Tottenham, and Liverpool in a row.
Oh, hey, even Wolves was peak, you know. Wolves were doing it before the whole Corona started. We were going to lose that thing.
And is that every 3 days as well?
Yeah.
Bro, it's bad. It's bad. Guess what? I did a show the other day where we basically did a prediction for the whole season. I had us losing to Villa and I had us losing to Wolves, but I had us beating Leicester and Liverpool, and we still finished in 7th. and don't forget, I also had us beating Man City too. So, and we still finished in 7th. But guess what? You're gonna laugh. Chelsea. I had Chelsea fall from 4th. Man United took 4th. Wolves took 4th. Chelsea fell to 4th. To 6th. And Aston Villa came out of relegation. And guess who went into relegation? You had Watford go down. Can
I ask you all a question?
For 10 mil.
Can I ask you guys just what do you guys think about Manchester United? How do you think we're gonna do in this running?
Unfortunately, I think United will get the 4th spot.
Yep.
I think
think United are set up very well.
Consider themselves lucky, to be fair, because they were on a downward slope. But nevertheless, I can see United getting that last spot.
I think United will get 4th, but let's not forget 5th is still as it stands until we're told different. It's a Champions League spot.
Yeah, JR super chat kills me. JR super chat kills me. JR, big up to you, JR. Lacazette lookalike. I'm sorry, I had to say that. What do you call it?
To Corona, UEFA might give Man City a leeway to.
1 second. Let me read the super chat. The man said, big up fellas. Not happy they're going ahead with the news.
Jesus Christ.
Yo, Zayn is on a matting. Zayn. Respect to Zayn. Bum.
Give me the now.
We need to start sending them trading signals, mate.
Arteta
That's what I said.
In the
I'm not joking. I'm not joking.
Come on, you schooners. Yeah, if Zayn had Stan Kroenke's wallet, he would be buying us all the players. Deadass.
Yo, do you know what's mad?
Yeah.
Arsenal are 5 points off 5th place, and you've got a game in hand.
Our game in hand is away to City. That first game back. If we win that puts us, depending on how we win, back in the literally they're on points with Sheffield United and Wolves.
Mate,
do you know what my concern is? This is my concern. Sorry,
remember last year we had easy games.
Yeah.
And we were in prime position to get top 4. Don't think a team that was 2 points away from getting top 4 can now all of a sudden claw back a 5-point lead when we have to face tough opposition.
Different mentality. We haven't got that Spanish fraud in us at our club anymore. Picking wrong line.
Let Daniel go on before I really interrupted.
Even though Arteta isn't experienced, he's got something bit more out of this squad than what the previous one did. We're getting clean sheets left, right, and centre, and just before this hit, we were winning games.
That's my concern. It's a clean slate, only 10 games to go. He somehow improved your defense. Mustafi's looking like a world-class centre back.
All of them are.
It's crazy.
I'll tell you this.
But the thing is, your problem earlier on in the season, Aubameyang was banging in goals, and the back four was letting you guys down. You guys were in winning positions quite often. So I'm looking at it like, I think United will get top 4, but I'm not sleeping on Arsenal at all.
I think we'll get 5th.
I'm not sleeping on Tottenham either, because just Son. It's just Son.
No. Tottenham are by far the luckiest club. They had no Kane. They had no Dembele. They had no Son. The man even went to the military and came back. How does this happen?
And you know what else? They've been away from Mourinho for a few months.
Yeah.
The mental strength.
Well,
they've only got to see him now for 10 more games, and that's it. Like that. Oh, it's going to be interesting. I'm gonna say that.
Yo, everyone in the comment section is saying, Sonny, Zayn has just bought you the best Beats headphones you can buy. No more duct tape on your headphones, buddy. Okay. Anyways, Furious K.
Well, Zayn might as well get me a webcam, mate.
Also, going back to what I was saying earlier about
75 quid.
One second. Let Ryan finish. Go.
I do, as I said, I do agree. Chelsea, I think they're fall off now because they've had that. We've had that 3-month break between now and when it starts. Lampard has never been in a position where he's had to hold on. Derby County, for fuck's sake, and even then he fucked that up. But
please don't swear.
It's just, I do believe obviously United will get 4th, we'll get 5th, and then Tottenham. It'll be Sheffield United, Wolves, Tottenham, and Chelsea.
Oh, you've got Chelsea all the way through. Wow.
Just because I have Chelsea dropping also. I've already told you guys mine, so I'm just going to go through it quickly. Relegation. I have Aston Villa. I have Norwich. No, Aston Villa gets out. I have Norwich, Watford, and Bournemouth get relegated, and the top 4 for me is pretty much the same, but you just take out Chelsea and you put in Man United, and what happens is Chelsea fall to 6th, Man United go to 4th, and you have Wolves go to 5th. That's it. And I'm gonna give it to Adam now. Or no, Furious K. Sorry, I cut you off. Your turn.
Like I said, I've got Man United 4th. I don't know if Wolves will win enough games. They pose a threat. Sheffield United will remain where they are. I can see Tottenham. I mean, depending if Son and Kane will be back. So yeah, Arsenal. I can't see Arsenal higher than 7th, to be honest. Yeah. So I can see Man United for 4th, Chelsea Wolves 5th, 6th, and Tottenham. Yeah, I think the 5th spot is between Tottenham and Chelsea. To be fair,
okay.
Arsenal. They only lost 6 games as well, but
Zayn,
I can't see.
Zayn is the man. Obama who?
One extreme to the other. That was.
Yeah, it actually was.
Okay, Adam. We're gonna do relegation after, but just your top 4, top 6. Who do you think from what you can see?
I really do think if the season had just carried on, Leicester would have been out of this. But now I expect them to stay in there. Yeah, I reckon United will get it, man.
Zayn wants me to do it, so I'm gonna have to do it. Obama who? Obama what? Obama blood clot, young. Anyways, that's my truth impression. Anyways, don't copyright me, please. Next, sorry, Adam, go ahead.
No, it's cool, man. Yeah, I just think that's gonna be. I think it will be United to get the full spot.
Yeah, and also, guys, just so you know, this is Man City getting banned. We're doing it as if Man City's still banned, because as of right now, they're technically still banned. This game, bro. Respect, bro. Respect.
Yeah, Tottenham worry me with Son. Just that guy. He's going to come back fit, ready to go. You're going to be scoring one-man goals. Like, he's the one that worries me. But yeah, I think United will get 5th for sure. Sorry, 4th. I think we'll get 4th. I think Chelsea will fall off. After that, it wouldn't surprise me if Arsenal got... I'm not just saying that because I'm on an Arsenal show. It's just, like I said, clean slate, 10 games to go. You're going to score goals. Arteta's had more time to think about his plan. I think I don't know. I wouldn't lose hope if I were you guys. I think you guys should be a bit more optimistic about your chances.
I just don't know if like Arsenal can overcome 8 points like off Chelsea.
It's a myth. It's a myth.
It's not gonna happen.
It's
You
you play Chelsea. Let's look at your
guys.
Yeah.
We could be on the top 4 all day. I want to get 2 more points in. I want to do relegation, and then I want to talk about if 5 substitutions will change the game or not. But if you guys could each just tell me what your relegation would be, I'm gonna go down to the bottom. If you can see it, you can still see that, right? And then I'm just gonna ask you guys each tell me what you think is gonna be the bottom 3 at the end of the season.
I'll start. Norwich is done. I think Bournemouth have enough quality. I mean, over the years they've been in similar situations with a similar amount of games, and they've managed to go on runs. Watford are still iffy. I'd like to see West Ham going down.
Why?
Brighton will draw. I'd like to see. I think Brighton will draw their way out of. They'll draw their way out of the relegation. They'll.
This is the
Of
weird
course,
thing.
how many draws they got? 11. Yeah.
The team that has the toughest matches.
I can see either Watford or West Ham going down with
The
Aston
team
Villa
that
and
has
Norwich.
the worst matches left, I think, is Bournemouth and Watford. Maybe I forget, but I think they have the toughest. Aston Villa have it pretty good, but they also have to worry about like the middle table guys, not fucking them over.
They lost 4 in a row before this suspension.
Yeah, sorry guys, I don't know why I said you can't swear. You can swear whatever you want, do whatever you want. What do you call it? It used to be called Sunny Unfiltered. It's now called Sunny TV Arsenal, but we still trying to keep it unfiltered. What do you call it? So far we've done 2 people. Who hasn't done their relegation? Adam, you did yours?
No, I haven't, but yeah, I think
1 second,
Norwich are gone, Villa are gone, and I think I hate it, but I think Bournemouth might go as well, you know.
Yeah, man. Eddie Howe, come back to the Premier League with a better team. What do you call it? Daniel and Ryan. Who wants to go first? Ryan, I'll let you go first.
Norwich, Villa, same as everyone else, because Norwich, it's too much for them. Villa form, but literally momentum's going to be out their hands now, and they're going to have too much because of how it's going to be game, a couple of days rest, a couple of days rest. It'll be too much for them to.
True. Okay, Daniel.
And then it'll be it's going to be a 3-horse race from me between Bournemouth, Brighton, and West Ham for that last spot. I think Watford will put away.
I'm the only one who has Villa surviving this.
No, you're not. I was gonna say I agree with that. I think Villa will survive just about. I think Bournemouth have the best coach out of the bottom. If you look at that bottom 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I think they've got the best coach.
Yeah.
So I'm saying Bournemouth survive. I'm saying West Ham and Watford will join Norwich and go down.
But the only reason why I think Bournemouth won't survive is because of their style of football. I think, know, when teams are in relegation dogfights, parking a bus is literally what saves them usually. And all this pretty football that Eddie Howe likes to play, I don't think they'll make it, you know.
But that's why I think they play their way out, they play their way out of trouble. You see what? Fair enough. I think the only thing with Bournemouth potentially going down this season is like previous seasons, they've been in better situations, whereas now we're going to see their mettle.
Also, we've got to take in consideration as well. All these games will be behind closed doors. So fans won't be there. So it seems like Villa have that sort of lift when their fans are on their side at home games. They haven't got that now, so that's another reason why I'm saying Villa that just take me too much from. My cousin
is another show, guys. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that tomorrow.
West Ham fan, but West Ham, I think West Ham will go.
David what do you call it? We're gonna be finished with this now. My last question is the 5 substitutions. How is that going to change the game, guys? Because to me, that just made it unfair for teams that are going to be facing Man City, teams that are going to be facing guys with deeper benches. Because let's be honest, Arsenal has a deeper bench than a team like what do you call it, Tottenham. We have a deeper bench than a team like Leicester, but we don't have as strong 11. When you think about Man City's bench could be a starting 11 for some teams in the Premier League. So I honestly think certain teams are going to be hindered and certain teams are going to be heavily favored. And when you guys were talking about the injuries and the games that are going to be coming every 3 days and ligament injuries, little niggles here and there, the Bundesliga had 8 injuries on the first week. Usually you only have 2 injuries per weekend, maybe, or maybe 3. So they had double. Actually, they said 2.8%. No, it was 3.8% higher injuries than they would have ever had usually.
Just got me. You just scared the hell out of me. Man United's injury record of our best players isn't very good.
Welcome to our world.
God.
Yeah, and Liverpool too. Liverpool's been very healthy. So like this could literally take Jordan Henderson. This could take Jordan Henderson's race for Premier League Player of the Season to, if he gets injured and someone else comes out of nowhere like Kevin De Bruyne and kills it, because Kevin De Bruyne is 3 assists away from breaking Thierry Henry's record.
Yeah, I think
so. Stuff like that could make agendas like that could make you Premier League Player of the Season. Everything's up for grabs.
You know what? I don't think it's going to have the impact that people think it is. I think there's almost a temptation to make too many changes and disrupt the game way too much. It will help with fitness for sure. But if you're a City and you're likely to be 3-0 up after an hour, that's great for Pep. You can take 5 players off and keep him fit and healthy. But for teams that are going out and in the last 10 minutes the game is still up for grabs, you can make too many substitutions, ruin the flow of the game, and it might work against you. So I think it's going to work differently for different teams, but not necessarily just because of strength and depth.
Bro,
I think the situation will affect how that goes.
Knowing Pep, he won't even put 5 players on the bench. He'll only have like 2. Anyways,
who? I didn't hear that. Who?
Pep, remember when he had only like 2 players on the bench one game? He could have put academy players on the bench.
Make a point.
The guy's a waste man, bald fraud. Anyways, that's another show. Furious K. Unlike us, you have a more experienced manager. Do you think it favors you guys because you have a manager who knows how to do big substitutions in big moments, as he's shown in the Champions League with Origi?
Like I said, I mean, it's just probably for the rotation aspect of it, but I don't know. I don't know, to be honest. I don't know if 2 extra subs will make a difference or not. I mean, like what Dan said, I mean, you could make the managers overthink in certain situations. You can you might bring 2 players on at halftime. It's not working. You're under pressure. You bring on another 2 players, then you're winning. So what are you going to do next? Or we change formation, or let's bring in this other player. And it confuses the players. As to, I mean, it all depends on the game situation. That's
sorry to interrupt you, Kev. I'm going to make a prediction. Mourinho will make a substitution and sub that player and sub that player.
Just because he can.
Facts. 1 second. Shots fired. Dane said Kevin De Bruyne had what? He has the whole United midfield in his pocket.
Not this season.
I'm actually looking forward to seeing Man United's midfield because that is pretty scary. And to be honest, last time we watched Bruno play against Arsenal, what do you call it? When he was at Sporting, he wasn't that scary to me. He wasn't that good, but he's a different player for you guys. But I'm going to talk to Adam and Ryan. Arteta has shown in the Chelsea game that he doesn't do his substitutions right away, and sometimes he hesitates. Do you think that's going to affect us with him having 5 subs now?
No, because he's worked under Pep. Let's be honest, he's worked under the last few years under the best manager in the league, and someone who's created what Barcelona went on to be. So he takes things on. He's a smart man. He's not one of these act on impulse. But we've got to remember he's learning. Every game's a new thing for him. This is a whole new ball game. So if he might make the one mistake here and there. People are gonna do that. You can't just put it down because he's inexperienced. He's going to make a mistake because the most experienced manager in the world will make that same mistake. You've just got to go with the flow and see what happens. Because at the end of the day, these 5 subs, the only reason it's been brought in is to help the players with their fitness and make sure no one actually does get these muscle injuries or any major injuries that takes them out for the rest of next season.
True.
I mean, Paul Pogba. Are we ever going to see Paul Pogba in a United shirt again?
Oh,
Yes, you will. Yes, you will.
I think he's gonna play. Maybe not the first game, but the second game. 1 second.
No, he'll be fine.
I don't want to talk about Pogba forever. We could talk about him another time, Daniel, when we bring you on.
But literally, he's always this season. He's had an injury. Every time he seems to come back, comes back too early, and that's what I'm saying. We've now been out even longer. Could that affect him as well?
He was ready to come back before COVID-19 happened, so he'll be fine.
I'm going to wrap it up, guys. Just before I wrap it up, last question. Everybody here, you guys all have young players. Adam, does this help the Arsenal young players? Does this help the Man United young players? Does this help the Liverpool young players get a chance to play meaningful games? Because there's going to be more substitutions.
Possibly. It's kind of tough to say because it depends on what team you are. If you're Pep, then yeah, you probably will, because players like Foden, you're not really playing for anything, so you can afford to give them game time. It's not going to affect your league position too much. But if you're right at the bottom of the table and you've had COVID-19, you haven't really had much money coming in over the past couple months, and you've got a young starter, you're probably not going to play him because you can't trust him.
Okay, Furious K, will we see any of the Curtis Jones or the Harvey Elliots, or even that young center back from Dutch? I forget his name, something Van something. Will we see those guys in the Liverpool team?
Yeah, we'll probably see the likes of Curtis Jones, Elliot, Narco Williams. But I don't think.
Will we ever see Trent in the midfield? Because I think he could do a job like Kimmich did.
I'd like to see him in midfield. I'd like to see it, but we're gonna have to replace him. To be fair,
True.
I mean the transition won't be as swift. Well, we'll see, but because that's his natural position. I remember when he first came into the team, he played in midfield in a League Cup game during Jurgen-Klopp's first season.
True.
So putting him at right back, I was surprised, like, you know what I mean. But we'll have a few players coming in. I mean, the sooner we win that, we can get those 6 points.
Okay, Daniel, United. Greenwood, we've seen a lot of him. We're going to definitely see Greenwood. We're going to definitely see Brandon Williams. But is there anybody else that might come through? Because Angel Gomez seems like he might be replacing Jesse Lingard in the team sheets.
We wanted to see Gomez all season and we haven't seen him at all. That's the crazy thing. And United fans have jumped the gun. He hasn't signed that new contract yet. The rumor is he will. But look, there's too much at stake. I don't think, unless you're 3-0 up with an hour to go, you're not going to see no young players, at least for Manchester United. The game
Arsenal,
has to be...
you definitely will. Arsenal, you definitely will. They've been a plain steak. Arsenal has the youngest team out of every single team, I think, in the Premier League, and we've played the most youngsters. You guys don't realize how many youngsters we have in our team. This reminds me of Man United when they were rebuilding, when Arsenal were at the top of their game. Them times you guys rebuilt and had like a young core. You don't understand how many young players we have. I know you guys support United and Liverpool, but we have so many young players that it's ridiculous. We almost every game we have about 4 to 3 in every game.
To be honest, though, that's not new for Arsenal, is it? Even in the Cesc Fabregas era, after Henry left, you had a bunch of young players then. That's why Fabregas left to go to Barcelona. Like, it's nothing new. You always have young players. It's true, though. Arsenal always... Listen, Arsenal have no problem finding young talent. It's just...
Bro, we have an average age in our squad with of what? 24 and a half. That's ridiculous.
Think about that. You're going to need
players. 24 as well.
If you want to compete, Arsenal want to compete, you're going to need players in the peak. You can't just keep saying like you've got the youngest players. Yeah, I mean that reflects the way you are on the table also. Like you have to have that core balance of players who are in their prime and up and coming players. Do you know what I mean? Like you can't just just always have young players.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at the previous pre-2004, like everyone was in their prime. Everyone. Henry, Bergkamp, Vieira, Kiel, like you had even the players that were past their prime, but they were experienced.
Ashley Cole was the only young person to break through, but that's because he was generational talent.
One second.
Yeah.
This comment is trying to trigger me. What you have to realize is your young players like Tammy Abraham have been in the league, have played on loan several times, year in, year out. These guys are not young, bro. Guys like Mason Mount has been on loan in Germany, and he's been on loan in the championship. Our guys are coming directly from the academy, like Eddie Nketiah. Saka's 18, bro. The man literally finished his GCSEs last year, bro.
That's right.
And guys are talking about young. Reece, what's his name? Reece James is nowhere near as young as these guys. Guendouzi is actually younger than all these guys on Chelsea's young that you guys are calling youngsters. Guendouzi's 21. What? He's 22. So come on. And hey, I'm gonna end it, guys. I want you guys to about your channel.
What you want from the team? I mean, you can be as proud as you can be with the young players, but I mean, what does that reflect, really?
Jane, I love you, man, but come on. Martinelli is already better than Rashford and Martial.
You heard it here. Come on.
That's a little biased. That's a little biased. He's a hard worker. He's not there yet.
I was going to say, this is where George Graham, for all the flack he gets for what happened at the end of his time at Arsenal as coach, that's what he got right. He got the experience and the youth balance perfectly to do what he did in '89. I mean, his captain was Tony Adams, who he made captain at the age of 19. That wouldn't happen back now. That would not happen for a top club. And
what do you mean? Okay, not a top club, yes.
As in a top club, they wouldn't pluck a kid out of the academy.
It happens at like a league.
Yeah, but people like Tony Adams are born though, not me. That's a different type of cloth there. Like,
but you know what I'm saying? That we had Rocky Rocastle coming through as well. Kevin Campbell coming through. Perry Groves from Colchester.
Yeah, but you still had experienced players. You had like the David.
That's what I'm saying. He got the balance.
David Platt and all that as well.
But that's what I'm saying. With George Graham, he got the balance spot on to get us competing again. We need to get back to that.
Yeah. Okay. Respect, guys. I just want you guys to shout out your channels, say where you're from, let people know where they can catch you on Twitter or whatever, and then we can move on. And definitely, I hope you guys can come back whenever we have like big game or matchups. We got a Liverpool game, so Furious K, definitely catch me on Twitter, bro, at the Kitty G, so we can get in contact. And then Daniel, we don't face United anymore, but hey, and Adam, man, definitely. If you ever need someone, I can be a comedian too, bro. I got some jokes. I got some Somali jokes. Anyways, and then Ryan, man, you need to get me on your podcast, man. Definitely help out. All right, talk about Arsenal. Talk about the good old days too.
Now we've got Premier League coming back. I'm planning to do more actual podcasts on the channel. So yeah,
tell people where your channel is. Ryan.
You're talking to me.
Yeah.
Well, basically, up to all this coronavirus rubbish came along and done what done to us all, it was basically getting a few of the Arsenal lads on. We all got that common interest of Arsenal and talking Arsenal, no matter win, lose or draw, being honest about the situation we're in.
Sure.
And since all this has happened, I've been doing general knowledge quizzes at Arsenal quizzes, general knowledge quizzes, etc., just to provide content for people. So
okay, there's some fancy people who have big channels and they haven't produced anything. So it just goes to show you, some people, they don't know what to do with their lives when it comes to.
I said their lives, not their content or channel.
I'm being honest. I'm just saying this real shit. I'm not trying to be salty or anything. I've reached out to people. You're not doing nothing with yourself. Yes, you might be on AFTV and stuff, but you have your own channel. Do something for yourself. Don't go on AFTV, bro. There's nothing wrong with AFTV, but like, do something for your life, bro. Anyways, guys. Adam, what's good? Tell people you can.
You know where to find me at TFO Show on Twitter, and please subscribe to us on YouTube. The 5th official. Thank you very much.
Yeah, man, and you got the top bins. Who's winning right now? Top bins.
So hopefully we should be able to do Hazard versus Salah this Monday. Stay tuned for that one on Monday.
So people who don't know, he does this thing where who has better shots and usually gets better shots off in top bins, who's the better player, and he compares shots and to basically produce who's the winner of that matchup. And it's been a good thing that I've been seeing on Twitter recently that you've been doing. Daniel, tell people where you've been doing. Oh, sorry,
Yeah, you
Adam.
can.
Sorry, Adam.
Sorry.
One
Yeah,
second,
you can
Adam.
find me. Oh, go ahead.
My bad, bro. Cool. What do you call it, Daniel?
Yeah, I was just gonna say you can find me at Devil Details MU on Twitter. There you'll get a link to the YouTube channel. I have a podcast, Red Rivals Talk, where me and Furious K and the kid as well, we just talk Man United, Arsenal, Liverpool, Chelsea, and Tottenham fans are welcome as well. And I've got some other content coming very, very soon. So yeah, you can find me there.
True. Yo, Adam, my bad. I cut you off there. What were you saying?
No, literally, I was just gonna say, I can't even remember. Honestly,
It'll come back.
It'll come back.
Oh, let me ask you. I want to ask you. You remember when you were doing those like weekly reviews and you had everyone? Where was that? Was that like a football gym, like a basketball court?
yeah, it was in the changing room, but obviously Corona stopped it, and yeah, so hopefully we'll get back there soon.
Oh man, Corona's depressing, bro. Let's not talk about it. Okay, Furious K, man. Liverpool's coming to win the league. You're gonna see them celebrate. Honestly, man, are you up for it? Are you ready?
Yeah. I mean, I've already celebrated anyway. I've been celebrating the whole season, mate. Now, joking. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. No, I'm kidding. I'm looking forward to it, man. Like, finally, got the monkey off our back and just start dominating now, really.
Oh, here we go, dominating. Yeah.
Okay. Domination's coming. Everyone, man. Honestly, guys, appreciate it. You've been very good to come on. Thanks for giving me your time. Appreciate it, guys. Thanks for coming on. And honestly, man, we need to do this more often, if anything. And when it comes to football, everybody's happy football's back. And I just want to say, if we can get the levels of the games to come back to the levels that they were beforehand, honestly, that's all we need. Because I don't care what level the game comes back, but as long as we can see the players playing with their hearts out and nobody gets like career-ending injuries, I'm happy. Because if the worst thing would happen, you come back too soon and these injuries happen and it ruins your career, right?
Yeah.
But that I don't know why I finished it on such a so sad note.
I can take it further. The worst thing that can happen, which no one is saying, is a player dies from COVID-19.
Right.
That's the danger of coming back. Just saying.
Yeah.
So at that point, you have to avoid it. At that point,
I pray it doesn't happen. I hope I pray it doesn't happen, obviously. But
that's corporate manslaughter. But hey, we usually sign off. This is how we're gonna sign off. Thanks, guys. Subscribe, like, share the video. Please share the video and tell people about it. Like the video and give us a shout out on Twitter. Really appreciate it, guys.